Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Let's start with test number 2. Question number 1. Direct shipment distribution typically offers which of the following advantage? A. Risk pooling is facilitated. B. Demand variability is reduced. C. Service levels are increased. D. Lead times are reduced. Now let's evaluate option A. Risk pooling is facilitated. Not at all. You are not pooling your valued goods with anyone. So this option is completely irrelevant. Demand variability. It's on in option B. Demand variability is reduced. To some extent, this answer seems correct. But if you have a good visibility throughout the supply chain, then you can easily reduce the demand variability. So this somehow contributes to the answer. Let's evaluate what we have in option C. Service levels are increased. There are many aspects which define service levels, like cost, quality, lead time, packaging, durability, reliability, availability of the product, etc. Direct shipment can be one of the aspects to increase or improve service levels, but it is not the only one. So this is not the correct answer. Now we are left with option D, that is lead times are reduced. This is the most appropriate answer, since when you ship the goods directly to customer, there are no intermediaries in between like distributors, wholesalers or retailers. So this is the correct answer. Question number 2. Benchmarking a firm's performance against industry competitors is most valuable because it can reveal option A competitor's manufacturing process, B. A firm's leadership ranking relative to industry peers. C. Which processes require improvement. D. That no further improvement is possible. Now let's evaluate answer number A competitor's manufacturing process. Knowing the manufacturing process of your competitor is not sufficient. What if you are producing high quality product at the most economical rates, but your marketing department is not performing well? Or what if your logistics function is so inefficient that your product has availability issues? There can be many aspects other than the manufacturing process which should be taken into account. If the product is not performing well, this is not the right answer. Option B, a firm's leadership ranking relative to industry peers. Ranking is of no use if you don't know how or what to improve. Therefore, this is not an appropriate answer. Let's evaluate option C, that says which processes require improvement. Supply chain is all about delivering the right product or service at the right price and the right quality at the right time. Benchmarking against industry competitors exactly pinpoints which processes require improvement. Therefore, this is the correct answer. Now let's see what we have in option D, that no further improvement is possible. Supply chain is all about improvement and adding value. So this statement is entirely wrong. So C is the correct answer for question number 2. Question number 3. An increase in the inventory turnover rate for a supply chain typically would indicate that there has been reduction in option A, price to the end user, option B, supply chain cost of sales, option C, the manufacturer's inventory, option D, the total supply chain inventory. Now let's evaluate option A, prices to the end user. What if you are selling an ice cream in winters at a low price, or coffee in hot summers, or winter clothing in hot summers? So reduction in prices doesn't necessarily mean that sales will increase, and as a result inventory turnover rate will also increase. So this is not the correct answer. Let's evaluate option B, supply chain cost of sales. It is a made up term. You will find many made up terms like this in your online exam. They don't have any logical sense or explanation. By the time you will finish your course, you will be intelligent enough to figure out these made up terms. Option C, the manufacturer's inventory. What if manufacturer doesn't hold any inventory? He produces and delivers the goods to wholesalers and distributors who are maintaining the inventory. So this is also not the appropriate answer. Option D, the total supply chain inventory. When the product is in demand, goods will be pulled by the consumers automatically, which will eventually cause reduction in the total supply chain inventory. Let me give you an example. Let's say retailer is holding inventory of 100 pieces. distributor is holding inventory of 100 pieces, and manufacturer is also holding inventory of 100 pieces as well. There are total 300 pieces in the total change in the complete chain. What if retailer receives an order of 250 pieces from a customer? Now, in order to fulfill the demand of 250 pieces, retailer will ask the distributor for the additional 150 units. Since distributor is holding inventory of 100 pieces only, therefore he will ask the manufacturer to furnish 50 units in order to fulfill retailer's demand. This will decrease the inventory in a whole chain, which will eventually increase the inventory turnover. If this process keeps on going, then eventually inventory turnover will keep on increasing. So this is the correct answer. Question 4. A business is changing from a business to business model to consumer model. Which of the following statements about this supply chain is true? Option A. Returns from customer will increase. Option B. Number of supplier orders will increase. Option C. Number of customer orders will increase. Option D. Average supply order size will increase. Now let's evaluate option A. Returns from customer will decrease. In order to answer this question, first you should be knowing the difference between business to business model and consumer model. Business to business model means that manufacturer is supplying goods to another entity in a chain like distributor or a wholesaler. On the other hand, consumer model is the one in which manufacturing is supplying goods directly to the customer. Now let's get back to the option A, which says that returns from customer will decrease. In actuality, product returns will have no impact on changing the model. If a manufacturer has delivered a faulty product to a customer, regardless of delivering directly or through a distributor channel, it will be returned for replacement or for a repair request Anyway, so this is not the correct answer. Let's evaluate option B. Number of supplier orders will increase. Absolutely wrong. You have just changed the mode of selling your goods to your customer. Initially, you were fulfilling the demand through distributors, wholesalers, and retailers, and now you are catering to the same market directly. Demand has not changed at all. Number of supplier orders will increase or decrease when there is a variation in demand. But question doesn't talk about this about the demand at all. So this option is also wrong. Let's evaluate option C. Number of customer orders will increase. Now this is the correct answer, because in the given situation you will be receiving orders directly from the customers rather than feeding distributors or wholesalers with big chunk of few orders. In other words, now you will be catering to the masses directly, which were initially catered by the distributors or wholesalers. So this is the correct answers. Number of customer orders will definitely increase. Let's see what we have in option D. Average supplier order size will increase. As discussed in option B, since you are just changing the mode of selling goods to your customer, supplier order size will have no impact. So option D is also wrong. Question 5. A company ships from its manufacturing facilities directly to its warehouses. If the number of warehouses increases, the transportation cost between the manufacturing facilities and warehouses will more likely option A increase, option B decrease, option C not change, option D become less predictable. Now let's evaluate option A. This is a very important concept, therefore I would advise you to please give your full attention here. Let's say you have 3 warehouses, one in north, one in south, and one is on the east side. All of them are 100 kilometers apart from the center point or from each other. Now, if you will build another warehouse on the west side or in between north and south, your transportation cost will definitely increase, since now truck will have to reach another destination to deliver the goods, which actually means covering more distance. Always remember that you do not build warehouses in a close proximity. There is always some distance in between the warehouses to cater to different areas, to cater to different markets. Therefore, transportation cost will surely increase. Option A is the correct answer. I think there is no need to evaluate other options since I have already given you the rationale behind this concept. Question 6. An organization is looking to expand sales of its product line into a new market. What processes should it undertake to identify the best new market area to move into? Option A, market research. Option B, demand shaping. Option C, demand management. Option D, demand generation. Now let's evaluate option A, market research. Always remember that new ventures start with a market research. Let's say you are planning to launch an extremely spicy instant noodles flavor in a country where people prefer less spicy food. Without doing market research, what will happen? Eventually, your product will fail. Therefore, market research is the first step that will help you identify many important aspects of the market, such as whether your product line will be compatible in the particular market or not. So this is the correct answer. Now let's see what we have in option B, demand shaping. Demand shaping is used to influence demand by using 4 P's: product, price, place and promotion of marketing, and therefore it has nothing to do with identifying the best new market. Therefore this option is wrong. Let's evaluate option C, that says demand management. Demand management deals with managing and prioritizing demand, and it has nothing to do with identifying the market. Therefore, this is not the right answer. Option D says demand generation. Demand generation is a function of generating demand. If you have entered into a wrong market without doing market research, then you cannot generate demand of a product which is not fit for that particular market. Therefore, this option is entirely wrong too. Option A is the correct one. Question 7. A razor blade manufacturer installs RFID in their promotional displays so they can monitor when these displays leave the back rooms of retail locations and when they are discarded. This is an example of marketing control over which of the following? Option A, branding. Option B, placement. Option C, educating supply chain partners. Option D, packaging. Now before I start, you should be knowing what is RFID. RFID is radio frequency identification tags, which are used to store data about the products. They are used for searching, tracking or identifying the goods. It has nothing to do with branding or packaging of the product. So option A and D are not relevant. Now you are left with option B and C. As I said, the RFID helps in searching, tracking or identifying the goods through which product's location can be easily tracked. Therefore, placement is the right option to select. Placement is the correct answer. Question 8. Creation of brand image is concerned related to option A, product, option B, placement, option C, pricing, option D, promotion. All the P's, product, placement and pricing, listed in option A, B and C, somehow contributes in building a brand image. But this is not the core aspect or function of creating a brand image. Promotional activities like marketing, advertising, and creating public awareness through different channels create the brand image. And hence option D is the correct answer here. Question 9. Which of the following is the primary demand generation task for a surgical device manufacturer developing a new product to compete against an existing product? Option A, designing packaging. Option B, educating doctors. Option C, educating potential patients. Option D, understanding pricing strategy. Now let me tell you that products like surgical equipment cannot be marketed to common consumers since they don't have any understanding of them. Target market for surgical equipments are doctors. Therefore, you will educate them and create product awareness among them only. It is quite evident that option B is the correct answer. Question 10. An organization that has a famous brand of cookies is considering approaching a famous ice cream company to co-produce a cookies and cream flavor. How best should this be positioned? Option A, the organization will gain access to new markets. Option B, the brands add value to each other. Option C, their current generic cookies are very similar to our cookies. Option D, their generic cookies are not very good. Okay, let's evaluate option A. The organization will gain access to new markets. Both the brands can help each other in accessing the new markets on the basis of this new product. And there might be many people who would love to have an ice cream made up of cookies and cream. So in actuality, both the brands are adding value to each other. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. And let's say what we have in option C, the current generic cookies are very similar to our cookies. We don't know about it since it is not mentioned in this question. This is not the right answer. Option D says their current generic cookies are not very good. Again, this is not mentioned in the question, so this is a made up assumption. Option B is the correct answer here, that says the brands add value to each other.